Known for his directing, producing, and camera skills, Japtha Mohlabane, now an executive producer and director of the very famous Papa Penny reality show. He says it can look easy now, but it did not at first. His talents and skills has resulted to Simamo Productions, his very own company that has given birth to very great productions. We are so excited at Motev today to be speaking to this great director. If you have been a fan of these popular reality TV shows, now it is the time to get to know who is behind them. Japtha Mohlabane. Welcome to Motev and thank you so much for tuning in. I invited you because you have such an incredible record behind the scenes. Obviously started where you started and being where you are now. For me, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. And I don't know how many people know what you do and how much you have achieved. So I just created this platform to invite people to see the people that create the shows that they are so crazy about. And you were on top of my list.
Thank you, I'm so honored.
Yeah. Can you just give us a little bit of your background in terms of production and how you started off?
Okay, what, from school or from the first day I worked?
Mainly
Or everything?
yeah, anything that you feel like you want to speak about, but mainly television or film.
Yeah. So I started, I've always had the love for, for storytelling.
Yeah.
Right from school, Funny enough, I wanted to be an actor,
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how the universe works, and, So I went to Vets to study dramatic arts, right? And I think it's where I fell in love with directing, because I saw that there's so much competition in acting, because it was like theater production after theater production and auditions, and it was like, okay, this is driving me crazy. So I started realizing that actually storytelling doesn't have to come from only a performance medium. It could also be from scripting and directing, and that's when I ventured into the industry.
Yeah.
On my second year of studies, I was given an opportunity to work on a SABC2 show called World of Winners, and that's where it started. So I worked for a guy called Harold Seneca for a kiddies show called World of Winners. I was clueless back then. Attitude was wrong. You know how youngsters, when you get into the industry, we think we're the cool guys,
Yeah.
And yeah, I was thrown in the deep end. Like punctuality, attention to detail, sense of agency. Like I didn't have a clue. Like I was being shouted at every single day, And I didn't understand then because I was, And today I understand all those principles and how critical they are when it comes to production, But then I actually became a logger for tapes and delivering tapes at SABC for a full year. My job was to type sheets, log in like shots and scenes for SABC archives and the company archives for a whole year. It was the most frustrating thing. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? And my friends are busy getting jobs. Some of them are going to sales. Some of them are getting acting gigs. Some of them are like managers in restaurants. And I'm this guy who's logging tapes, earning 450 rand a month. For a whole year, I wanted to die. And just as I was about to quit, I think in the second year, my boss back there said, okay, cool. All right, now that you understand that, growth is patience, etc. Now I'll teach you how to actually do this job,
Yeah.
And I started with insert directing for like a kid's show. I never clue what I was doing. But it's like, okay, cool. Today the story is about cows and milk and farming, right? And see, and then you're gonna go and direct it. See, like I was so excited just to drive out and I've got a cameraman and shots of a cow, they're milking a cow,
and telling them what to do.
It's small things like that. That's how I started. That's storytelling. Right now I can write the entire series, but I started baby steps there. And I was so excited with it, I was so passionate. And it just grew bigger and bigger, and before you know it, I'm directing interviews. Now I can interview
one-on-ones, yeah.
Before then I used to write lots of questions. I didn't understand what I was trying to achieve. But then over time, I honed the skill. I watched movies, I watched reality shows, I watched so many things that then over time, and I read a lot, I do my research. But over time, I think things are falling into place. And, assistant director, inside director, then, series director, then I worked on international formats. I mean, I think my biggest gig after the Kids show was working with Big Brother as a content director.
Right.
Getting into a show that big. I mean, I thought, directing is you and a cameraman and a presenter. Then we get to a Big Brother environment where you have a control room. Everyone must listen to you.
You are not on location, yeah.
It's so overwhelming. And I'm like, what the hell? And then you are told, by the way, what you're doing now, tomorrow morning we need an episode of 24 minutes. What the hell? What? I'm like, that usually takes me like a whole week. Now you're telling me I must have an episode tomorrow morning. And you just roll the punches. Like, again, overwhelmed, anxiety. But because people are such a well-built machine, you are not the only one responsible. There's like 9 content directors there. There's one series director, there's 9 technical directors, there's 9 audio engineers. It's like a big machine that day, and everybody is supporting each other.
Yeah.
So you have shifts where you are in the MCR, then you have shifts where you are in edit. So if you do like a 9 to 9 p.m. or 6 to 6, you do what you call spotting, where you gather stories. And then if you do a night shift, 6 in the evening till 6 in the morning, then you take all those stories that were gathered during the day and you put together to 24-minute highlight.
Yeah.
I think that for me was the biggest learning curve in terms of directing reality from raw like content.
Yeah.
And finding beats that are entertaining enough to be put together on the timeline for 24 minutes. And then after that, I mean, that's a format. So format gives you tools to make a story. Then after that, it was, okay, now you're going to do a scripted from scratch. It's not a format, it's pure narrative. And I think my first trial was with Papa Penny Aye.
Yeah.
That for me, because now it's not a format. It's not like there's a task and you're going to get content from task, or it's nominations, you're going to get content from nominations or selections. It's like, okay, here's Penny and here's Diana. Tell a story. It's like, okay, and it's like, God, it's a lot of work. I can't even say it all in this interview, but you get what I'm saying. But you need to know what you get. So before you shoot, you meet with Papa Penny. You do research on him, and you think about the viewer. You need to know your target market. Zanti Magic, who have been privileged to work with for over 10 years now, support us as producers. They tell us what their mandate is and what their audience wants, because they also do market research.
Yeah.
Then I have to take that to Penny and say, Penny, with all these things you have to offer, I think these are the most instant things that can speak to the market, And we identify storylines. What is the main storyline? What is the B storyline? What is the C storyline? Because you can't only have one storyline because it's monotonous. So storylines need to run parallel. Same formula you use on drama and movies, Storylines have to be parallel so that at least you keep the viewer's attention span entertained, It is not one monotonous story,
Yeah.
And with season 1, I honed the skill. I developed this speciality, and over time it just get better and better. Then I did put on the stem. You know, I did Real Housewives of Johannesburg. Also other international formats, Survivor. That one is.
Those are big names, Japhta. Those are big names, bro.
Sorry?
I'm saying those are big
I'm telling
names.
you that. Yes, I mean Survivor. The recent one I did, Island of Secrets in Samoa. What an incredible production! I mean, everyone who works there on that production are like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
They are the highly recommended. Like everyone knows what they're doing because you're dealing with an overseas dynamics. So everything is costly. Every second you're there, money is being spent. You know,
Yeah.
from technical to creative. Even the locals when you're there, they're also charging by the day per hour. So you have to know what you're doing. There's no time to learn there. You know, so I mean, coming back from a Survivor, I always think like I've gained like 20% of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I don't know if I've answered.
You have. Oh, more than enough. I'm excited. It's even interesting to listen to you because I haven't seen or worked with you in such a long time. So just to fill in the gaps is so amazing. So what would you say? What would you say helps you as a director to get your subject to give the narration that you want for your viewers? What is it about you that helps you to tell that story best?
Yeah. So I think research, you know, people tend to undermine research. Research, if you think about it, research is not only in our industry. Research is a basic fundamental across all industries and all fields. Whether it's science, whether it's film, whether it's medicine, whether it's history, whether it's geography. You need to know.
That's true.
As much information as you can get before you engage. So before I go to my subject, I do my homework. You know, if it's Papa Penny, I need to know Papa Penny street knowledge and book knowledge. So that when I go and engage with him, he feels like he's talking to his best friend. Already that's going to make him trust you. Then, once that happens, then I start getting stuff that is not privy to the public. And that's usually the most interesting parts. Things that I motive, you know, because everyone is privy to things that are in the tabloids, you know, things that are general knowledge. And that is like episode 1, segment, the first 5 minutes. After that, they want to know the character.
Yeah.
They want to know what keeps them going. They want to know their struggles. They want to know their hopes and dreams. They want to know their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities. And because at the end of the day, Papa Pin is just a human being. Beyonce knows if she does a reality show, she's just a human being. So people want to relate, they want to connect. So what I do, I break down their walls, their celebrity status, their icon status walls, and I'm like, who is man? You know, who is Papa Pin? You know, who is and when you're vulnerable, what makes you vulnerable? You know, those nitty-gritties, and then okay, cool, what is your personal goal right now? You know, people's like, I want to have the biggest concert, like fill up the Moses Mabhida Stadium. That is for commercial. But if I was to do reality show with Casper Nyova, it's like, okay, but really, what is your ultimate goal? And you might find his ultimate dream is to just find a girl that really loves him for who he is, not for his status. You know, and that can be a storyline. It's like, okay, Casper finding pure, true love, you know, and his journey towards that. Or maybe connecting with his lost siblings, half siblings, you know, like, okay, cool.
The real story behind the big name. Yeah.
So I miss.
No, I'm saying you search for the real story behind just the big name.
Yes, you know, because that's what makes them relatable to us. Because me as a viewer, I can't fill up Moses Mabhida. I'm not Casper Nyovest. Me as a viewer, I'm not gonna sing like Penny Penny. But Penny Penny looking for his child, you know, it's like so many. It relates because so many people feel that reality. Because many people have separated in terms of either, you know, Kupule Kaya, or they don't have a relationship with their children.
Yeah.
So they'll want to follow that story to see And that story has been going on since season 1. Right now, PDP has a relationship with all his kids, because his kids were spread across, the country and somewhere in Mozambique. And throughout the 4 seasons, he's managed to get all his children. In this season that you're watching now, for the first time, he's taking out his entire family. They have an entire family reunion.
Right.
In Mauritius, which is something nice and something Bin has been working on. Him and his son, Bafana, they didn't speak at all for season 3. It was pop. I don't want to speak to you anymore. But now, Bin doesn't give up, and sometimes he does. And me as a producer, I'm like, dude, remember what you're doing is not only your story. You're selling hope.
Yeah.
You're inspiring people. You're changing people's lives, people the way they think. So if you really want to bond with your son, don't give up. Because remember, you already gave up on him. And he wants to see how really determined you are. And if you show interest, he will also come through. And throughout season 3, that was the journey. And in season 4, they finally met. And I think during this week's episode, you must watch it on Thursday.
Yeah.
They actually talk about it. And Billy and him, they actually sit down like grown-ass men, and they discuss the reasons why the relationship fell, and then they hug, and then they make a choose. It's such a beautiful story. But it took 4 years for them to get here.
That's incredible. Don't you think then that makes you a life
So as a
changer?
producer, those are the kind of things that you need to identify. For me, that's the biggest reward. Knowing that I just reunited a father and a son.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no greater reward like that. You know what I mean?
Good for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've worked with so many
Yeah.
people behind the scenes. Who would you say, or within crew, what qualities do you look for a team that will make you manifest your reality?
So here's one thing I cannot deal with, and I detest. Egos.
Oh,
There's egos, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think our industry, we have that disease or deficiency. People carry around their title and egos like we cool. I'm Japhta. I've done Survivor. I'm an executive producer now. When I step in, everybody better recognize. And I don't, I'm making just an example, but when I look for a team, I don't look for the most expensive GOP who's done the most expensive whatever, and it's going to be a pain in the ass in
Yeah.
production. I'm looking for team players. So I want people who are hungry, people who want to actually learn something from or teach something. But then their spirit is that of a team player.
right.
And we don't necessarily take you because of your CV. We take you based on your experience firstly, because you have to know what you're doing, or else we'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Should the fan, the broadcaster realizes that we're getting cheap people to try and score a quick buck. So we always make sure you have the experience, but also that your attitude is also good. Because we don't want people who are going to be oppressing other people like that or be condescending. Because that happens a lot, especially in the commercial advertising industry.
Yeah.
So we usually build each other. So we want to have fun on set. We want to make jokes, have fun, but when it's time to work, we work. I push my team very hard. We most of the time, it's like I'd say 70% of the time, we find ourselves in situations where we are working overtime.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't talk about it, but the reason why we're working overtime is because sometimes the best moments come. It's Murphy's law. The best moments sometimes come after the 12th hour.
Yeah.
And then you as a producer and director in the team like, guys, it's really happening now. So we can wrap and use content because you guys legally can't do this. Or you guys can take one for the team, and we as a company will make it up to you.
Yeah.
And we negotiate sometimes on days where, there's no need to shoot. We just pay them a full day because we know that on other nights, they really worked an extra mile. But then their attitude needs to be that kind of welcoming to ideas like that. We need to be not only creative in the mind, but creative in the way we work. So that at the end of the day, we are able to capture the moments, night or day.
Right.
And we have a culture of friendship. We see each other as friends, not like you are there on your pedestal because you won awards after us, and and you guys stay in that room and lunch executives. No. Sometimes I become the assistant. I actually a room pole. No, really. Sometimes I drive the whole crew myself. When the driver has been driving so much, I say, no, you rest, let me drive. Especially Guyana trips.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we take care of each other like that, And we just need to take care of each other, because this thing of this is my job, that's your job, is never going to take us anywhere, especially as black people. We need to build each other, And sometimes people have ideas that, they want help with. And when I'm on set with them, I open that door, like, come, let me help you, guide you with my experience.
Yeah.
And then, I give them feedback, and then and then before you know it, I help them go and pitch the idea. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
And, that's how it works.
Wow, that's incredible.
So when I identify a crew, I look for the right attitude. Attitude is very important. And obviously, the hunger. They need to be hungry.
Yeah.
I shoot a lot of pilots. Sometimes I've got money to pay them to a certain point. After that, I'm like, guys, let's take Madama Mercy, for instance. 5-man crew. Me, director, content director, producer, and cameraman, right? And then Tamba, producer, director, cameraman. Then we spoke to 3 guys who wouldn't have money to pay, because we could only pay for accommodation and hire gear and stuff.
Yeah.
The guy called, very, very good attitude. His name is Zain Askin. Like, come shoot for me. I'll get a camera for you. And also a guy called, what's his name? His name is just slipped my mind. I call him Mr. Mtombe. His name is Katleho Mtombe.
Okay.
And there was a guy called Sean. 5 of us. We shot a pilot for over 5 days. Polugwane, Johannesburg, Hartebees. We put that thing together. And Andrew Fewer.
Yeah.
We shot in 5 days. It took me 2 weeks to edit it. I went and pitched to Mzansi. I'm like, this is Madame. I worked with her on Real Housewives season 1. And this is the show that she has to offer. They loved it. That's why today she's on air.
That is so beautiful.
But
and it looks lovely. It looks amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. And they did not want, me to pay them, because I understand that once we get the job, they're hired for the job production.
Yeah, definitely.
And
people that help you that way,
and
of
then
course.
say, well, pay me for that 5 days, etc. Yeah. So the attitude and the hunger, it goes a long way.
Yeah. Japhta, this is so incredible, because obviously I know your production company, Simamo. When I saw the promo, I was jumping as if I have done the work. Because I just know what it takes for an idea, for a creative, for an idea to be approved and taken to this great length. This is so incredible. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks so much.
So I want us to speak to people that are aspiring your position. What do you think? What do you think is a good recipe? One, to become an executive producer and a director, and considering that not many people are as multi-talented as you are. For instance, in Madame, you were wearing so many caps. You had such a minimum crew, but you were able to achieve the baby that we see on TV. And not many people can pull that in the way that you did. What is your advice to other people?
I'm going to use you as an example, man. So when I met you, I think you're one of the producers that I have so much respect for, because
thank you.
You've won so many hats.
And you told me that I would become a great producer.
Sorry?
I'm saying, and you told me that I would become a great producer at Evan Brew.
Yes, I'm coming to Evan Brew.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people don't understand that in order for you to get to an executive producer level or director, you need to know everyone's job. Firstly, they can't bullshit you, right? So, you, for instance, I remember on one gospel, you were a producer, you were a presenter, you were a script writer, you were an assistant director, and at some point you were a director.
I was directing.
You were a voiceover artist.
Oh my gosh.
You were a voiceover artist. You understand? You were an executive producer.
Yes.
For 1 or 2 or 3 shows. And sometimes you were the act because you were dancing in your own shows. You record yourself dancing and put that as part of the entertainment piece. Go to makeup, change, become a presenter. During a production, you understand what I'm saying? While the whole so people don't understand what it takes.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
then when you do that, you don't have like 9 to 5. Right? You don't have 9 to 5. You're working. Like me and you, sometimes we leave Evan Brew during one gospel days, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
We came in at 6. We're not complaining to anyone. No one knows this about us. And even today, sometimes when a job needs to be done, that's what I do.
Right.
I come here, I shut up, I work. Because
Oh
at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last job.
Yeah.
You shut up, you do the work, and people don't want to help you. You move on, you get people that will help you. So what is the secret formula? There's no secret formula. You need to work.
Just put
But then
in the
believe in
word.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Everyone is born and creative. The challenge is the journey and your determination, your sheer determination to execute. Right?
Right.
You need to be stubborn. People will tell you, maybe you're not ready. Maybe you need to have capital. Maybe you need to align with whoever.
Yeah.
You don't listen to those people. Because not, like they always say, Rome was not built in one day. You have to just follow your dream. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. But you being in your lane, those are building blocks. That's like a foundation, brick by brick. But if you give up, then you're going to be one of those buildings, like in the castles or in the villages. There's those houses that are just abstract.
I never finished.
Because the person got discouraged. Those houses, like some didn't even get to roof level, and then they give up. Some foundation, it's just like since you're born, it's still like that, right? Even dogs now live there. So you build, you get in there, you build the roof. And for me, that's like an example. Also, I'm a builder. My previous boss taught me how to build. So sometimes I apply that building attitude, not only in my creative, also in the physical. Because when I see something growing physically, it also motivates me intellectually and creatively.
That's true.
So once in a while, I'm like, okay, I need to build something. What am I going to build? Now I'm building my health. My health is also going the right way. I'm setting targets. Okay, I'm going to build a room, or I'm going to build a garage, or I'm going to build a house, or there's so many things I'm always building. So for me, seeing growth, you need to see growth. Even if it's a bank account, just save 100 rand every week.
See
or
that
every 2 days.
growth.
So a bank 100 rand.
Yeah.
Yes, So how to be a director, how to be a producer? You need to be stubborn. You need to believe in your dream, believe in your work, and keep people around who support you.
Yeah.
Those who don't, those who discourage you, cut them out.
Cut
but
them out.
Keep their words. And yes, cut them out, but take what they're telling you as a challenge.
All right.
So what I do, if I'm told, okay, you don't want to achieve this, I take that and make my motivation. Right? Because when I finally achieve that, I get there mostly not because of people who are supporting me, because the support from my wife and my family, that's always been there.
Yeah.
But the biggest motivation is the ones that say, you don't want to do that. Because at the end of the day, I get there because I don't want to satisfy them.
Right. I know that.
Yeah.
I also use negative feedback to fuel me to do even better.
Yeah.
And I often say, I want my good works to speak when I'm silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm feeling
Yeah.
so amped up. You know, your speech is just encouraging me right now because we are on lockdown. Not much can be achieved by so many
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
the little that we are doing, such as this online, is just encouraging to hear you say that. Just keep doing the work. Keep doing the work.
It's a big deal. Trust me. Because people are gonna see these interviews who have now taken that script and thrown it under their couch or whatever. But
Yeah.
after seeing that, okay, cool, Japhta's story or Manu's story, they're gonna be motivated. They're gonna go and finish their story. And before you know it, they have better ideas.
Yeah.
But now they've got a finished product that they can go and leave someone with.
Yeah.
That is a big deal, you know.
No, I absolutely feel you.
And maybe someone will watch this initiative, also what you're doing, and like, cool, maybe we need this in a bigger platform. How about we expand this to the whole Africa network? How about
From your
you never know what's
lips to
gonna come.
God's ears, I tell you.
Yeah, but because you're doing it right now and you believe in it so much, don't stop, my sister, because someone will recognize, someone will see this initiative, and it starts small. Before you know it, it becomes a worldwide trend, and everybody's doing it,
Right.
and then you licensing it,
That's awesome. So how are you coping during COVID-19? Things are not normal. We can't be many in one set location.
My sister, so how do we cope? So we had to adapt or die. I remember when China told us at first that cool, you guys are gonna have to be compliant to the restrictions. You can no longer shoot the way you shoot or edit the way you edit.
Yeah.
And we have a pandemic now, so people need to work from home. So we had to take our edit suites given to the editors, restrict staff to like one or two people because we've got an office space where there's like 3 production offices.
Right.
So maximum, if you want to work at the office, 2. If you push it to 3, 1 in like a corner. I'm alone in my office now, as you can see. Like, it's only me here. There's no one.
Okay.
Just me with myself, and everything's been done remotely, and I was in production with Madama Mercy. The last 2 episodes, I had to shoot them lockdown way, so where I have a crew of 9 to 10 people, I had to scale it down to 3, right?
And what did you
We
do
had to
with
go
other
there.
people's roles?
Sorry?
What did you do with other people's roles?
No, the other people, because of the restrictions, because remember, I was shooting during lockdown 4, right?
Yeah.
So, where I was going to someone's home, right? Already, there are there's like 3-4 people in the household. So you can't bring more than, like, crew is like the trick for us to get in there,
Yeah.
right? So I had to double up. I had to be a cameraman / director, right? And Temba had to man 2 cameras. I need sound. So everything was super slow. Sanitize the equipment. We sanitize ourselves. Like step by step. Every scene we shoot, we sanitize things, remove things. People are wearing masks and action. Like it was a very step-by-step process to make sure that everyone is protected to shoot those last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Which eventually we managed to get it right, And people are editing from home. Everything's done remotely. Meetings are done like this now. Either Zoom call or Skype or, there's no physical contact or conference calls. Things like that.
Yeah. Wow, that is awesome. I love your story, Japhta. I always root for you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Loved you then, still love you now, will love you tomorrow. You inspire me so much.
Thank you so much, Manu.
Yeah.
Likewise, like you are the most versatile, creative. Like people don't know, like you are like jack of all trades and master of all.
Oh man.
Like your attitude is also like very, very inspiring. Like
Thank you.
So keep doing what you're doing, and people like you, man, will make this industry shine. you know?
Yeah.
Because it can be difficult. It can be difficult, this industry of ours. It
It
can be very
is.
challenging. So at
Yeah.
least now what you're doing with this initiative, you're putting us back there, you know, so people can see us, what we do.
I
you know,
love
and
you guys. I just think that the crew is the most working hard type of people. And nobody
We are.
recognizes it. Yeah. Because even when we are working with different productions, we put all our efforts in, and by the time their contract is ending, 2 people are saying, thank you, you did a great job, and you look back and you think, I've done so much. Can I at least have 5 people say thank you? But you walk away,
You know,
pleased because your work is on TV at the end of the day, and millions of people are loving it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Jeff.
so much.
Thanks, my friend. Thanks for this time, and I hope I'm gonna link up with you anytime soon.
No, definitely. Just
Yeah.
holler at the brother.
All right. Now, all the best with what you have to
Okay.
do. Big up to your crew. Please pass my love and gratitude.
I'll do that.
All right.
Okay, take care.
Okay, you too. Bye, my
Okay,
friend.
bye-bye.
Bye.